Ultimate Hauser News Channel.
Today, we will be sitting down with global artist and multi-genre cellist Hauser, discovered by Sir Elton John. We will discuss his journey to stardom and his upcoming album, The Player, out September 16th. Thank you for sitting down with us today. I'm just going to jump right in. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started and what your journey looks like to how you are today?
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay.
My journey has been a crazy ride because I've been through so many different things in my life. It's crazy. I started first as a classical nerd, for many years, only focused on classical music, practicing cello like crazy. And then there was so many experiments on the way. The two cellos, touring like a rock star for 10 years. Now I'm doing some Latin projects. So it's like a whole variety of things and collaborating with so many different artists from different fields. And I'm really happy and lucky to be able to experience all this variety because I never wanted to limit my creativity to just one kind of music, So yeah, I don't even know where to begin from. It's crazy.
Well, it's awesome. You've had a ton of success. You have a new album. For those of you who don't know, he has a new album coming out, The Player, on September 16th. Can you tell us a little bit about that album and kind of your inspiration for it?
Yes, I'm really excited about this album because this is something I always felt I want to do. It's mostly Latin music. Because I was always drawn to this amazing temperament, the spirit, Latin spirit, energy, the dance, the movement, the passion. And this is what I did in this album. I included so many musicians who are part of this album, the brass section, the string players, the rhythm section, all these different Latin instruments. And I wanted to create something so exciting, so something that everyone wants to get up and dance, And I chose all those songs that people know very well, that are all very known songs amongst also young people. Every generation knows that song. And I always like to unite everyone. I like that everyone comes and enjoys one and only music. So this is why I always make sure that everyone can, enjoy same way from 7 till 77.
Yeah, Latin music definitely is a way to incorporate a lot of fun and movement and dancing. That's where a lot of that culture stems from. Is there anything more you can tell us a little bit about, where your love for Latin music came from?
Yeah, I mean, the mostly it was like, how can I do something exciting? The cello, because when we were doing our shows as two cellos, the end of the show was always crazy rock show. Everyone stood up and danced. And now when I'm alone, I was like, how can I do that myself now? I'm not going to have this rock show now, but I want to do something similar. I want to have the same effect that the whole arena starts dancing and jumping. And I thought, well, Latin music is the best way to do that, to attract wide audience. And of course, first part of the show, I want to start, of course, slowly with classical music, some movie soundtracks and then I want to make this shift into this crazy Latin party. And yeah, this was the direction I was thinking. And I thought, yeah, Latin is the way to go. Because Latin is something that everyone enjoys, whole world, not just Latin market, but also every part of the world is equally drawn to this music.
And is that something you kind of found out over time through structuring your shows, how you do a little bit of slow stuff at the beginning and then you pick it up towards the end? Is that something you figured out over time?
Yes. This is the formula this is how we actually build our show. We want to that is like constant growth and just grows into like the show starts slow and then it expands with each song, gets more and more crazy. And then in the end, it's just total explosion. And this formula works so well that I want to keep the same formula for my show as well.
And that actually leads into my next question, which is, what's the best advice that you've been given, that you've taken with you?
Well, I mean, the best advice is that you should listen to your own voice, your own instinct, your own guts. and no one can really tell what's best for you. You have to feel it, because no one is you. Only you is you. And if you don't feel it 100 billion% in your guts, no one can give you the right answers. And that's what everyone should really try and focus, to hear their inner voice, what is telling them, you know?
Yeah, definitely important to live life honestly and never hide your truth. Do you have any role models that you've looked up to in terms of music or just life in general?
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy that how my role models were also expanding, because first at the beginning, I was only focused on, let's say, cello players. So I had my heroes in cello world, like Rostropovich, Jacqueline Dupre, Yo-Yo Ma. Then it expanded to, I was starting to discover, looking just out of the box of just cello players. So I discovered some violinists. Then my heroes were Yasha Heifetz, David Oistrakh, Maxim Vengerov. Then I expanded to pianists, then Horowitz, Rachmaninoff. Then I expanded to conductors, then to composers, then gradually to rock bands, to pop singers, to, my heroes were expanding as my influence was expanding, because I started very narrow, and then I was expanding my horizons each year more and more and more, and then my heroes were expanding accordingly to that,
Yeah, because you started out, with the classical training,
Yeah.
right? And so, as you were exposed to more and more,
it was such a gradual process, and it's crazy that then in the end I got influences from so many different sources, and this is what shaped me to who I am today. It didn't just happen all at once. It was like step by step.
And I'm sure today you still continue to take inspiration and expose yourself to artists.
But there is not like a one person that I'm like, that's it. No, it's like I take what I like from each influence. And you can be inspired by anyone. Doesn't even need to be in your field. You can get inspiration from some athlete, or from you might think, what I have to do with this guy, but you can see his mindset. You can be inspired by his work ethic. You can be inspired by so many different influences, especially nowadays, because we live in age of internet, that you can learn from anyone. You can learn from basically anyone, and from their mistakes, from what they did right. So everything is just one big lesson.
And I get this really does tie into the next question, which is, how much has your life been impacted by your role as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I was dedicating my whole life to the art, and I was always putting my growth as an artist as a number one thing in my life. And everything I did was in service of art. So all my childhood, I was just dedicated so much. And yeah, basically all my life I've been serving the arts, and I will continue to do so.
Yeah, that's incredible that you've been able to find a platform where you can be an artist very honestly and really truthfully, and just share what you do best with everyone. Do you have any favorite collaborations that you've worked on in the past? You've been with some incredible names, some incredible talent.
Yeah, it's really hard to choose the favorite, because each one is different in its own way. You can't compare, playing with Elton John or with Andrea Bocelli or Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's all totally different worlds, but that's the beauty. Each one has their own magic to it. So it depends. Everything is equally satisfying, to rock out with Steven Tyler, or play a aria with Bocelli, or it's totally different experience. You can't really compare it at all.
It's all iconic.
Yeah, it's all iconic.
They're all pop culture icons. You can't top that.
No.
And do you have any advice you would give to aspiring musicians, people that are just getting started?
Yeah, you have to, for me, thank God I found cello. Cello is my best tool to express myself. And everyone should find what they're best at. Absolutely. Everyone is best in the world for something.
Lily, say hi to my fans, Lily. So guys, look at that table there. There is a box. And inside of the box is something very exciting. let me show you. So inside the box, I have hundreds of CD covers that I'm gonna sign for you guys, my dearest fans. Check this out. Check this out. Hundreds and hundreds just for you guys. The player. This marks the beginning of a whole new era. And look at this lovely booklet. Let me show you. This was shot in Malibu Beach a few months ago. And this was shot in this very well-known desert, also next to LA. If you watch the movie Hangover, these desert scenes were all shot right here. That was me lying on the desert. Bloom. How exciting. And look who is here looking. My mom. Are you gonna help me sign? So my mom is here gonna help me sign for you. And I have a golden and silver flowmaster. Doesn't end. Doesn't end. Look how many. Look how many. Hundreds and hundreds for my dearest fans around the world. So what I'm gonna do is... Yes. Help me. Otvori. Yes. And I'm gonna sign it right here. Each one. For you. And if you've been good this year, you're gonna get a heart from me as well. There we go. Ta-da.
Please subscribe to my new channel.